Hello, everybody. Hi, everybody. Sorry I'm a little late tonight. This is Andrea Walker Hood, and I'm the Intuitive Soul Healer. And I'm in my sacred healing room. I'm in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Southwest Virginia. And the reason I'm late is during the Christmas season, I had some pictures framed, and I thought, oh, how great it would be able to have the picture, this wall behind me with the picture up. So I hung it up before the video, and I went into the kitchen to make a tea, and I heard this awful crash, and there are I'm gonna pan out a little bit. See all the bottles on the top shelf behind me? There are 116 Orosoma glass bottles, and each one has a different quintessence in it, which are a mixture of herbs and various herbal things that come together to make healing remedies. And they were created by a lady in England named Judy, who was a blind lady, and she was given this gift because she'd never seen color. But when she created these bottles, they were actually two different colors, and when you shake them together, they turn into another color. So what happened was the picture fell off the wall, and about, I don't know, 60 some bottles were laying all over the floor, and out of the 62 broke. So I was putting them all back on the shelf, and I was interested to see which two broke, because to me that's a symbol of something that should be talked about tonight. So I'm gonna just redirect a little bit here so we have the right view. And so what I was going to talk about, and I still am, is about expansiveness. But because the bottles broke, what I'm going, and I still have a big puddle of Orosoma on the floor over here, but I thought I'd go ahead and do the video and clean that up afterwards, is I wanted to go quickly just address the two bottles that broke out of the Orosoma, because I feel that that is a message for us, kind of like if we were to pick some of the tarot cards that are actually, there's a, I don't know if you can see it, I'll show you. There's a huge shelf of tarot cards behind me, so I thought I would just go ahead and show you the bottles, the two bottles that broke. So the first one that broke, if you can see it, it says B48, the violet and clear. That's what the bottle looked like. And the message for that bottle, when we work with that bottle in Orosoma, it is actually, the name of it is called Winds of Change, which are exactly what we're in at the moment. And if you were looking at a tarot deck, it would be the Three of Cups. The meaning for this particular bottle was an understanding of light within the depths of yourself. So basically a transformation of the conscious mind. Now the second bottle that broke was number 92. And this bottle, you can see it, is pink on the top and sort of a dark green on the bottom. And this particular bottle references the return journey of temperance. And this bottle is a bottle that refers to feminine leadership and independence, cooperation, rather than competition, and peace is a priority. So I'm just going to take those two bottles that broke as a message from Spirit that that's something we need to keep in mind as we walk through the rest of our week this week on our journey. And I want to say hello to Laura. Thank you for joining me. And I want to talk about tonight, I've got crystals behind me, so I'm going to pull my chair around a little bit and we'll see the crystals at least. I want to talk about expansiveness, and especially in this time that we're experiencing on the earth at the moment, we're sort of in a time of turmoil where we have this political journey that we're on that's really changing the faces of our lives, and You know, 2016 was a year for a lot of people of much change, and it could have been a very hard year for you, or it could have been a year that was a teacher for you that gave you lots of lessons and put you on a new path. Either way, this year in 2017, it's really important that we are able to hold our own space, our own sacred space for ourselves, and to be able to do this when you're out in the public with other people, because you know there are lots of opinions that are going on at the moment. And I'm reading Laura's comment that the cell phone video keeps freezing up. Hopefully it'll come through. I'm in the room that I'm in is a corner room on my house. It has 10 windows and 2 doors. It's basically all glass. It's like 32 degrees outside, but we're close to a cell tower, so hopefully, even though I have a poured concrete wall behind me, hopefully it will come through okay. So if there is a problem with the video continuing to be interrupted, just let me know and I might start over. But so we're in this state now where it's more important than ever to be able to hold, thanks Patty, it's more important than ever to be able to hold our own state of being in a positive nature. In other words, when you're out in public, you know, we've got all these things going on, and it can be great to be an observer, but not necessarily be someone who's reactive to situations around you, because it may not be in your benefit, and quite frankly you may not want to get involved in these outside influences that can wreak havoc on your internal life. And if you do, if you are a trailblazer and wish to go out there and be the person who protests and raise awareness about things on the planet, fantastic. I think that's great for you. But for those of us who want to maintain our inner state of being, our inner peace, this talk is more for you. So what I wanted to talk, yeah, the energies are really scattered. We're having this crazy political year with, when I say crazy, with all these changes going on and everything's kind of up in chaos. And the whole concept of expansiveness, what I'm talking about is everything that's going on in your everyday self, not like your everyday life, like just all the things you face as your everyday self, your normal routine, you know, whatever it is that you are adhering to day to day. And that is different from your true natural self. Your true natural self is what you were born with, what you came into this physical essence, this being with, this state of being, this reality, this time-space reality. It's who you are, it's your soul essence, it's your natural self, your true self, okay? So we go from the true state of being, which is our true natural self, to then becoming our awakened self. And when that happens, it's the enlightened self, it's the conscious self. I want to say hello to Nick and Blair. Hi Blair, good to see you. And so we have our enlightened self. We go from the awakened self into what is our enlightened self, because we're full of light and we're light beings, and that is our true nature in a more expanded state. And from our enlightened self, we go to, good to see you Blair, our expanded self. And our expanded self is, I'm going to explain what our expanded self is, because it's our amplified self. It's us. Okay, I'm going to go back a little bit. One of the things I believe in life is abundance. I believe that we can never run out of the things that are naturally part of our being in life. We can't run out of love. We can't run out of abundance itself. We can't run out of all loving things. Anything that when you describe it, it's happy and joyous and makes you feel good and really touches the true nature of who you are. So the way to go about creating more abundance in your life is by expressing gratitude when things happen for you and to you in your life, and appreciation. The more grateful and appreciating you are of the things that happen to you, the more gratitude and that being expressed. It's not a matter of just being grateful and appreciative. It's a matter of expressing the gratitude and appreciation. And the more that you do that, the more abundance you have. It will come for you. It will appear for you. And just like gratitude and abundance, it works in love and joy and anything in your life that's love-based, that's not fear-based, okay? So what I'm saying about, first you express yourself, then you extend yourself, because you express yourself as a creative being, and then you extend yourself by being grateful and appreciating things in life and appreciative and loving. And then from that is where you manifest miracles, okay? Now, manifestation is anything that you have been thinking about and drawing to you that's in your vortex, okay? Your vortex of energy. It's just simply all the good, wonderful thoughts that you've put in your field that surround you energetically. So creating miracles is when you get to the stage, because anything that is made manifest that comes to you it's already in the process by the time you think of it. By the time you actually think of it, you've already done the work. You've already put it in the vortex. And, nothing can be wrong, because you are an I am presence of the divine source energy. You are a creator being. You are the one who has made this come about, because you put things in your reality and thoughts in your reality, and thoughts turn into things. So what I want to say to you is that there is never a wrong thought or action that happens in your life, because you are a divine being and you are from Creator, from Source, and Source never gets it wrong. So you can't be wrong. You're here to do whatever it is that you're meant to do. And the ideas that you think and that come to you are from your higher self, your soul, your inner being. And those thoughts, the things that come to you, are from Source and Source energy. So they are never out of place. When you feel out of alignment, when things don't seem right or you don't like something, it's because you've been pulled too far away from Source. And you as a creator being, you as your soul, your natural self, your soul self, knows when things are out of alignment, because you don't like it and you fight against it, and it's not life isn't happy-go-lucky at the moment, so the thing of it is, though, that contrast will show you what you want. It actually helps you form opinions and ideas what better serve you and suit you in your life, right? So to create miracles and to be in an expansive state, what I'm talking about here is, how can I explain this? You love someone. Okay, I'm gonna take my cat Cashmere. My cat Cashmere is a rescue cat, and Blair knows Cashmere, and he's a lover. He's the most loving, beautiful, sensitive, caring cat. After being so horribly treated, it's like the expanded version of Cashmere, because I gave him love and we gave him love, and we showed him what it was like to be in a state of acceptance and love and being cared for, and he felt he was abundant and I know, cashmere, and sorry, and he was happy to be here, and he showed us he was happy to be here. So by doing those things, he became more in a state of abundance, and he became more loved, because when we loved him, we saw that he was loved, we felt that he was loved, and he saw and felt those things too, and we both expanded our basically our point of attraction, and how this magnified for him and for us, and we were in this warm, loving state of joy, right? So know that when you're in those moments, when you're in those states of love with your significant other or boyfriend or girlfriend or parents or whomever it is, or at your job or work, if you're lucky enough to have a job that you love and it's really part of who you are, know that in those moments of feeling abundant and joyous and love, there is always more. Now, I say that, and you think to yourself, well, how can there be more? But whatever it is that you can think of, whatever thought comes to you in your mind, know that that thought is given to you from your higher self. So, in essence, that thought is given to you from Source. And if that thought can be given to you from Source, then that is just a glimpse of what your life can be like. That's just like a peek into the goodness of your life and the kind of like almost the spaces in between events. So if you fill those spaces, if you sort of lay your path, okay, it's kind of like setting your path with the intentions, but if you lay the path with even more loving thoughts, if you say to yourself, I give myself permission to be even more loving and more open-hearted and more appreciative and be in a state of more joy, you're being in a state of expandedness. You're taking that idea and just saying to yourself that because I trust myself, my soul self, my natural self, and I like and I love the feeling that I'm having with this experience, I can also trust that there's more to the experience, that if I open myself up to it and I say to myself, I'm willing to redefine this moment and allow more goodness into my life, an expanded version of what you know to be the truth, okay? So that is sort of what I'm talking about. And when you do that, and when you ask for help from your angels and guides and crystalline beings and light beings and all the most benevolent beings, and when you ask for this help, and angels, when you ask them to help you find the more expanded version, the higher version of love, the version that seems almost impossible to your human mind, the version that's like, it's like being in a blissful state in utopia. Like if it could be the very, very best, it could be the absolute best. That's what you're going for in each and every moment. And if you think it's not true, then it won't be true for you. But if you can expand your thought enough to say, well, I believe that this could happen for me, or I worked hard for this, or I manifested this, I only put positive energy into this, and it came, to fruition for me, and I was in a state of abundance and joy and happiness about it. Why is it that you can't conceive that the feeling you had and what came forward for you was just a portion, just a section, a sliver, a little bit of what's actually available to you? Why is it that it's so hard for us to wrap our mind around the concept that what we experience here on our life is what we create? So if we want the most extravagant, and I don't mean, it doesn't have to be expensive, but what I mean by that is the most epic picture, the big picture, the one that wins the Academy Award of our life, right? If we want the one that is the most beautiful to watch, the most beautiful story to tell, the most gorgeous and benevolent and loving characters in our movie, and the most amazing settings, why can't we open our mind more to conceive that thought and give that opportunity to ourselves? So just because you're in one state, and I don't mean a physical state like Virginia or California, I mean state of being. Just because you're in one state of being, you know yourself, you're able to transcend into another state of being. So let's talk about that for a minute. Let's all take a moment and think about the most amazing memory that you have. The one that you were so happy and you were or either so proud of yourself, or you worked really hard and it paid off and you just felt like, wow, that was amazing how everything lined up for me, and I was so happy in the moment, and it really gave me the feeling of joy and happiness and love, right? So no matter what you're feeling at the moment, like no matter what your day was like today, you can do that in your life in each and every moment by going back to that state, that memory, that emotion, that feeling of having the love or the acceptance or the joy or the money or the accomplishment or anything that it was that brought you great happiness. You know what that feels like. When you think about it, you get this kind of warm and expanded feeling. You get this feeling of love or gratitude or happiness, and you want it to last because it's like a relationship. That memory is like when you're in a relationship and everything is perfect, and you just want to be with that person 24 hours a day, and you kind of let the world slide away because nothing could be better than that, right? It's just like the best. And that's the same thing you want to do, is hold on to that feeling in your body, because that feeling is the feeling of expansion. That is you allowing love or abundance or joy or happiness in to its fullest, the fullest that you know to be the highest state, right? Kind of that blissful ecstasy state. Okay, so that is an expanded state. But there's also more than that. And whenever you come up against something in life, you have to ask yourself, what definition did I give this particular thing? Like, what definition did I give it to that I believe is true? And what happens in life, a lot of times we give definitions to things that are when we're little, like 5, 6 years old. This is what we think that is, and we believe it, and we know it to be true because it happens again and again, and it validates that for us. And our parents or brothers or sisters or teachers tell us this is what this is the definition for this particular thing, and we say, okay, we believe it, and then the world shows us that's it, and we hang on to that that belief system. Or we're a young adult, and we're growing in a different way, and things come about, and we say, okay, well, that's what that means now. But the problem is, as you go through life, those things change. But a lot of people hold on to the very same definition that they had when they were 5 or 6 or 18 or 25 or 30. And you can't do that. You're constantly changing as a light being, as an individual, as a soul. You came here as, this soul being to experience life to its fullest. And, you didn't come here just to have an ordinary existence. if you did that, what was the purpose of coming? If you could be in non-physical and watch someone have an ordinary life, and you would think to yourself, well, that's really ordinary. Why would I want to go and experience that when I could be here? It's so much better. But you came because it was exciting. It was sentient. You get to use your senses, your touch, taste, smell, sight. You're all in. It's like the full Monty. You want it all. You want the goodness. You want the excitement. You want the thrill of it. You want to go experience these things that you've never done, because once you do it, you're just like, whoa, that was great. Did you see that? You have this amazing story to tell. You had this amazing experience. And it gives you that feeling again of being expanded, of being wholehearted. And that's what I'm talking about. Expansion is the awareness of you being in a whole state of being. That's it. That's it. So it's so easy, if you can wrap your head around the concept, to allow yourself to be in that state. Just because you've never experienced something before doesn't mean it's not true. It just means that you haven't gotten there yet. And when you're ready to go for this, you can do this in everyday life, in every moment. Look for the highest joy. You hear this from Esther Hicks, from Bashar, Daryl Anka, who channels Bashar, from many people, from Wendy Kennedy, who channels the Pleiadians, there's a long list of people that I can think of, and every single one of them tell you the same thing. You want to look for that highest joy, that most creative state, because that is your true essence. That is who you truly are. And that is when you feel the most fulfilled and the most happy in your life. So take those wonderful feelings that you have. Hi, Jane. How are you? Thanks for joining. Take those beautiful feelings that you have. Take those moments that were just magnificent in your life and amazing, and use them in your ordinary, everyday life to expand and really help you be in a state of expansion. Everywhere you look, there's something, someone trying to get you to feel bad about something. They want you to get a strong reaction out of you. So, you're have an argument. It's great to stand up and fight for things you believe in, but some of these things can put contrast in your way and really pull you out of alignment. And what I'm basically saying to you here is that it's very easy to stay in alignment when you pull up those, press the recall button of your life and pull up those wonderful, beautiful memories that fill you with that loving, wonderful feeling that puts you in that state of expansiveness. And, Esther Hicks explains how when you go through your day and how people ask, how do I hold on to a high vibration all day long? And one of her various workshops or books, she explains that, your job is not to hold on to it the entire day. When you go to sleep at night, the easiest thing to do, is think about the beautiful, loving things that fill your body with joy. Hi, Julie. That fill your body with joy and really bring you to this happy state of well-being, right? And so, it's like when you kiss your children goodnight, or your boyfriend or husband or whatever, or lover, and you say, especially to children, you say sweet dreams and have happy dreams. And, my twin son sometimes says to me, comes down after I've tucked him in, and he says, oh, I can't fall asleep. And I say, okay. I always tell him, Aiden, try and think of the most beautiful thing, the memory that gives you the most happiest feeling, that brings you the most joy, because those memories will fill you up with love, will give you this sense of joy. And if you go to sleep in this state, how can you have a bad dream? I mean, you can, but you really have to venture there because you're already in a good state. So Esther Hicks explains, when you go to sleep in a state of joy, in a state of happiness, or just simply thinking about something that you love, when you wake up in the morning, because basically when you go to sleep, on your conscious world, the world that you physically see and touch and walk around in and taste things in and do things in, you have hit the pause button. You know, you've laid down, you've put yourself to rest, and you're out for the night. So when you wake up in the morning, you are naturally in a state of joy, of high vibration. You know, it's like waking up, it's like that beautiful wake up where you're just kind of waking up slowly in the bed and everything feels warm and cozy and lovely, and you just really don't want to get out of the bed. that's the state I'm talking about. So if you can feel what that feeling is like, if you can really kind of grab hold of it and see what that's like for you, and just say, okay, I got it. I understand what that is, right? Because all of us have had it. Everyone's woken up with a happy, stupid smile on their face, or you wake up humming, or, you know, it's like that scene in Gone with the Wind after Rhett Butler takes Scarlett O'Hara up the staircase, and we all have an idea of what happened that night. And the next morning she wakes up giddy in the bed singing some stupid song and running her fingers through her hair, and, you know, the person who comes in the room is like, why are you so happy? What's up with you? It's because we all know what that state's like. So if you can hold on to that feeling when you rise in the morning or in the afternoon or whenever you get up, and just really stay in that sense of goodness, like that beautiful state where everything feels good and you just want to put your favorite music on and dance around and play it while you're in the shower and brush your teeth to it and just sort of put your clothes on while you're half dancing and hope you don't fall on the floor. That kind of goodness, that's what I'm talking about. So if you can hold on to that thing I'm talking about is actually a high vibration. That's all that is. That's energy that's vibrating at a high rate because you filled it up with love and joy and happiness. That's all that is. And so when people speak of, like, you know, vibrating at a high rate, well, it's a little different, but for the most part, that's how you get there. That's the secret. That's the little in on how you get there. And it's your job when you get up in the morning and you can feel that joy. Even if you're tired, you can still have a great memory that puts you in that, you know, sense, that state of being of happiness. It's your job to try and hold on to that feeling as long as you can for the rest of the day. Now, some of you are probably shaking your head at me and saying, oh, that's all well and good. You know, I've got it while I'm driving in the car or going for my morning run or having my great breakfast or seeing a friend or whatever. But the moment I get to work, it's gone. You know, that's only because you believe that it can be gone. That's only because you've given yourself the definition that you can't allow that feeling to continue for you, to bring you, you know, this beautiful feeling and resonate with it as long as you want. So what I want to say about love and abundance and joy and all the good things that fall under what I would call the love blanket, right? Because all the, you know, there's two states of being. There's being in the state of fear and being in the state of love. And I choose for my life to be in the state of love. And what that means for me is being happy, being appreciative, being kind as you can, being, you know, knowing that abundance is available for you. And because all these things are always available for you, it's just up to you. It's kind of like putting your scoop in a sugar bowl. How far are you willing to put the scoop in, and how much are you willing to pull out? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just really think about you know, the more you can dig into those memories of positivity, the more you can pull the happiness out of them, the joy out of them, the love out of them, and really be in an abundant state of love and joy and happiness. And that's what I'm talking about being in the state of expansiveness. And I'm just going to check my notes because I talk a lot. So I just want to see what else I might have missed. So I was saying a little earlier, if you missed it, that, you know, there are different states of being, and the being in a state of expansiveness is being in an amplified state. And that's what I was explaining, being the extended version of yourself, because, you know, you set up your parameters and boundaries about what you think your life, what you're capable of doing and experiencing. You have to let those boundaries go and kind of ease them out and allow more of these positive things into your life and the goodness of life, because it's there for you. You just have to figure out a way to make them manifest, right? So then we were talking about expressing yourself, and how when you're in a state of gratitude, right? When something beautiful happens and you can be in a state of gratitude and loving and benevolent and kind, which is, benevolence is grace and kindness. If you can be in those states, those simple states, that, and express that and be grateful and show appreciation for that, that by doing that, it actually brings more of those things to you, especially abundance. And you see them show up more and more in your life, and you need to start looking for them. You need to start looking for opportunities to express love, looking for opportunities to express appreciation and express your gratitude. It doesn't cost you anything to say thank you and I love you. People are so conditioned not to say I love you, like it's going to kill them or something. Like if you say I love you, somebody's going to come along, and everyone you say it to, they're going to think that you're seriously in love with them. Give me a break. The more you start saying I love you to someone, or you're so special to me, you mean so much to me, the more you start receiving that back from other people, because when you're able to give it and receive, you know, the love from others, the more it comes into your life. So don't be afraid to do that. It's just being in that expanded state. The other thing about making miracles manifest, okay, so when your guides, hi John, when your guides are there for you on the other side, when you have people who've been in your life that cross over, don't make the mistake of thinking that they become angels, because angels are angels, okay? But people that cross over to, you know, the Rainbow Bridge or Passover or whatever you want to say, those people can become guides, because it's really up to you whether you believe in reincarnation or not. But I do. I believe that you lead more lives than one. And I believe that your existence is a creation of many lives put together, and that coming back to remembering who you are and knowing yourself is awakening to the fact that you were here on this planet before, and you had other existences that have accumulated knowledge for you. And when you pass back over to the other side, because I'm sure in your life there's been a moment where you just look, hi Sam, where you know, have an experience where out of nowhere you remembered how to do something, or realized you could do something that you've never done before, and you think, well, how did I know that? Well, maybe it's from one of your past lives, right? So, or you have an unexplained fear of something. I have a very irrational fear of tanks. And I'm not talking about tanks in a tank museum or children's toys. I'm talking about like Germany, being like in Germany in the Hitler era, with tanks running down the road and coming to search or kill people, that sort of thing. And yeah, it's crazy when it happens, John, right? And so that deja vu feeling of like, you know, I've been in my living room here in Southwest Virginia in the middle of winter, just like now, when it snows at night, you know, or it's really cold outside and I'm up late. I'm a night owl. This is early for me. So, and I've been watching TV or a movie, and, you know, we're pretty close to the road, but we have dual pane windows, right? So they don't let a whole lot of sound in. And there would be some mega truck that would go down the road, and I would cringe. And my first thought would be, oh, I need to go hide, or oh my gosh, you know, what could that be? Just sheer fear for no apparent reason. I've never experienced any type of war or genocide or anything that would make me afraid of that. But yet I have that in my being. That's part of my being. And I feel as much fear in the living room listening to this mega truck go down the street that sounds enormous as I would if it was coming down the street at me. I'm pretty sure it would be a little bit more dramatic, but similar. You understand, right? So, you know, what I was saying though was about beings crossing over to the other side, and those beings being guides for you. So, and that when we come to this life, we have multiple experiences, multiple lives, and then when we go back into consciousness, you know, cross over, pass away, croak, whatever you want to say, you know, that information comes back to us multiplied, because we receive all that information from our past lives, and it fully comes available to us, and then we have this expanded knowledge on the other side. So I was talking about miracles, having miracles made manifest, and the reason I'm mentioning that is because when beings cross over to the other side and they're able to assist you in the form of being a guide, and they, you know, don't get it twisted, when you cross over and go to the other side, you still have work to do. You know, don't be one of those people that think, oh, when I pass away, I'm just cold dead in the ground and that's it. No, honey. When you cross over, all you do is shift into another plane of existence. You're not, that's not the end of you. You're not, you know, you're not just, it just doesn't finish just like that. This life drops away, but you have a newer one as a light being, as the true self, the soul being that you are, your soul, you know, that carries feelings and emotions and memory. And you school on the other side. You can choose to be a guide for someone on the other side. You can choose to come back and experience this life all over again and live it for a particular reason. You can go on to another galaxy or universe. You can do so many things. So don't, just like being in the physical, when you limit yourself, don't limit yourself in the ideas of non-physical either, right? But my point about miracles, when people that you love, beings who, your friends that have gone on the other side, that you feel that true soul connection with, you know, that it really breaks your heart, you know, when they're not with you anymore in physicality, in this reality. You know, if they choose to be your guide, they can help you. And when you live your life, sorry, I'm going to touch the screen. When you live your life in an expanded state, when you open yourself up to the possibility that there are beings that, whether they're your friends or not, guides, angels, you know, extraterrestrials, IT, artificial intelligence, when, you know, there's so many spirit guides, animal totems, fairies, whomever you believe in, whatever you believe in, all those beings, as long as they're benevolent, you know, crystalline beings, the list is long. So they, and of course, source, they all can help you. They all can help you bring into your physical reality the miracles that are here for you in the state of abundance if you're in a state of allowance. And if you are able to take the definitions that you know, because truth is what you know to be true, right? And one of the things that recently I've learned again is that there's truth, yeah, there's non-truth, there's your truth, and there's my truth. And even though we both have two truths, your truth is no more truer than my truth, okay? Which sounds a little crazy, but you know, it's really hard as a human being when we live on the assumption that a truth is right. And what I want to say to you, just like there are many realities and many time-space realities, there can be many truths. And just because my truth doesn't equal your truth doesn't mean that your truth is any less valid than mine, you know? So that's a hard lesson to learn, because when we think about truth, we want to think about it like, you know, I know what the truth is, and the truth is right, and this is the truth. Well, I'm going to tell you, that's the truth for you. And even though it's the truth for you, because everyone lives their own version of their own life, and they have free will, and they can make the decisions that they want in life, does not mean that your truth is the truth for them, or that their truth is the truth for you. So coming back to being in this expanded state, you know, the more you allow in your life, and when I say allow, it's really about redefining your definitions of what you know to be true. So as I was explaining earlier, a lot of people get their definitions when they're little, right? So your parents or your babysitter, your, you know, brother, sister, teacher, all these people tell you what things mean, and it's your job to negotiate life and figure out what's right for you and what's wrong for you, right? And that becomes your truth. And then, you know, you live some more, and when you're 18 or 20, or, you know, some of us are older, 25, yeah, or 30 or older, you know, it's really up to you to question things in your life to redefine what your truths are, yeah? So you have to break down those truths and reestablish their new meanings so that you can work in an expanded state of your life, because there's more to life than what you see and feel and hear and taste. There's more. There's the space in between that's filled with all sorts of things that you have no concept of because you haven't seen it yet. You haven't experienced it yet, but it doesn't mean that it's not there, and it doesn't mean that it's not waiting for you. So I'm really talking about taking those feelings of love, taking those feelings of abundance, those feelings of joy, gratitude, and, you know, putting them in the highest moment for you, living them in the biggest way so that you can feel it more and more and more, and it multiplies for you. And when you're in that state, and when you ask for help, and when you ask for help from guides, angels, all the various beings, light beings, crystalline beings, whomever you ask for, source, God, whatever works for you, and if you leave the outcome open, you don't say it has to be this one way. You leave yourself open for an expanded experience, and you leave yourself open for help on a grander scale. And that's what I'm talking about beings in non-physical helping you make miracles manifest. Because what seems like something coming together to you in synchronicity, to someone else can seem like a miracle. They'll think, oh my God, she's the luckiest girl or guy in the world. How did this happen to her? She's always having something come her way. She's always in sync. She's always lined up. And yes, you are. You are in alignment. You are in sync with your true natural self, because you've given yourself the ability to be there, and it's ready for you, and it's available to you. And you know, all those beautiful things that you think of, love, abundance, joy, I don't know, help me out, whatever floats your boat, right? All those things are always available for you. You're never going to run out of love. You might feel like you ran out of love, or you may feel like you're not abundant or you're not happy. But if you reach for them, they're right there. They're just sitting, waiting right there for you to just take it to the next level. Just take it a little bit further. If you just, you know, it's like dropping something at the dinner table. You know, sometimes it's easy to pick up. It's right there. You can just reach down. Oh, there's my fork. I got it. Sometimes something drops off the table and it's like just a little bit out of reach. And you think, oh my God, if I could just reach a little bit further, I could get it. But you can get it. All you have to do is move the chair, right? So it's the same thing. It's the same concept. And all you have to really do is move the chair. And you do that by being in a state of more accepting that more can come into your life in all those beautiful ways, looking for the goodness instead of looking for the things that are fear-based. Because like I was saying earlier, you only come from a state of love or fear. It's one or the other. You have to decide which way you want your life. Do you want to live your life in a state of love? You want it to be happy and joyous and abundant and blissful and things always working out for you and coming your way and just lining up? Or do you want to walk around in a state of fear where you're angry and you're disenfranchised and you want to start conflict with someone and you can't wait to tell someone off all the time and you're just pissed off at the world, you know, like the worst teenager ever, right? So that's your choice because you have free will. That's always your choice. You get to choose in every moment who and what you want to be. And I'm here to tell you that you can choose to be your fullest, biggest, brightest, expanded self. You have to just reach for it. Just pull out the happy memories in your life and expand them and really go for them and just make them, have them help fill up your life, because the more joy you're in, the more expanded you are. And the more expanded you are, the more you're being your natural true self. And the more you're honoring yourself as source energy and you're being in the state of I am. And that's what it comes down to, being in the state of I am. Because you have to remember who you are when you're here in this world, on this planet. You have to remember, it's your job to remember who you are. And your only job is to remember who you are and to figure out what makes you happy and to go through the world and be your most abundant self. That's pretty much it. It's really sounds pretty easy, doesn't it? Sounds like something you could do, right? So let me just take a look and see if there was anything yeah, so basically it's just really important to maintain your positive state of being, because the more positivity, the more in the state of love that you can be, the more abundant you can be. The more grateful you are and appreciative you are, the more abundance comes to you. The more you express those things in gratitude and appreciation and love to others, the more that comes to you and for you. And that's a beautiful thing. And you go beyond that when you do that into your expanded self, into the expanded version of your true natural self, right? Let's see. Yeah, so I basically talked about everything that I set out to say in the video. If you have any questions or you want to express something to me, I'm happy to talk about it. I'm pretty much in a state where I can answer most questions for you. So just if you have anything you want to talk about, please send me a message right now. I'll be happy to try and bring forward you know, a most benevolent message for you. So I'm just going to give it a minute and I'm going to drink a little tea, because the last couple weeks I had bronchitis and asthma, so it's a miracle I can even talk now. I had no voice and couldn't speak, so I had to wait to do this video. It was something I actually wanted to do closer to the beginning of the year, but you know, today's the last day of January and tomorrow is a brand new month, and why can't the 1st of February be the beginning of your brand new year? You know, it is what you create, right? It's up to you. So I'm just going to take a sip of tea. If you have something you'd like to ask or talk about, please leave a comment and we'll discuss it. Right. So, don't be afraid to work from your expanded self. Don't limit the way you think and hold yourself back, because it's all up to you. You're the one who holds the key for this life. You're the one who has to discover who you are and what this life means to you and what you want to do with it while you're here. So I just want to send you much, much love. I look forward to joining you again from my sacred healing room. And you can see there's crystals behind me and Aura candles and tarot cards behind me as well. I hope you've enjoyed this Facebook Live video on expansiveness, and we covered some other things as well. So I hope this was of great benefit to you, and that it gets you into the mindset of thinking about being in an expanded state, so that you can come from a place of abundance, and that you're able to even step into a more magnified state of being, natural state of being for your true self in this life. So I just want to send you blessings of infinite love and divine light, and I hope you have a beautiful night. My name is Andrea Walker Hood. I'm the intuitive soul healer. I'm a soul facilitator, which means I help people in knowing themselves. I help people in accelerating their process and help knowing their true natural selves more readily. So just if you want to reach out to me or contact me, I'm at www.intuitivesoulhealer.com. I'm on Facebook, The Intuitive Soul Healer, Intuitive Soul Guidance, Andrea Walker Hood-ish, and Andrea Walker Hood. So it's been a pleasure. Have a beautiful night, and blessings to you all. Have a great night. Bye.